Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today I want to show you a bird's eye view of Lower Manhattan. I don't know if anybody has seen something like this before. I'm sure you have. But as you can see over here, this is the lower end of Manhattan itself. Now that one tower over there, that's the Freedom Tower. That was to replace the World Trade Centers that were actually knocked down. Now this is looking up the Hudson River, so it'd be looking north up the Hudson River. Obviously to the right side would be the east, straight up the river would be north. But that's what it looks like, the bird's eye view of Lower Manhattan. Now over here to the left side, this is Lower Jersey City. As you can see, Lower Jersey City has really taken off. You can see now all the high-rise buildings that are going up along the waterfront. Years ago, this whole area down here was nothing but burned out docks and abandoned warehouses. As you can see, has made a tremendous comeback over the years. I think the average person would have a hard time paying the rents and affording to live there, but that's what it looks like now. And I'll zoom in so you can see a little bit better the island out here. As you can see, there's a lot of boat activity. You can see the old building in the background back there. And as anybody who knows anything knows that this is actually the Statue of Liberty, and it's of course it's a tourist destination. Lots of people from all over the world will come here to visit this, but this is the Statue of Liberty itself. I'll zoom in on it so you can have a better idea of what it looks like. But that's it. There's a lot of activity going on there this morning. And a little overcast, as you can see. But it's going to be a fairly nice day. You can see a lot of people are out on the water already on their sailboats or their boats just getting around. I don't know if I mentioned it, but the island that I showed you with the older building on it back there, that was actually Ellis Island. And that Ellis Island is where a lot of immigrants came from other countries. Years ago, and they had to pass through Ellis Island before they went anyplace else. Ellis Island used to be a hospital and a place where people would go before they got off the ships to go to their final destinations. They had to have their health screening there. And I don't know if you know about it, but they call it a Great Staircase inside there. That Great Staircase was there for a reason, because everybody getting off the ship, back in those days, there was no such thing as elevators or escalators or anything like that. So they had this tremendous staircase that everybody had to go up. And when they came up the staircase, the people who worked there would be at the top of the staircase to watch everybody coming up. And anybody who had a little bit of a problem coming up the stairs or was winded coming up the stairs, they would be checked over thoroughly by the doctors to make sure that they were healthy before they let them go and be, to their final destination somewhere within the United States. But that's the island itself. You can take a ferry over to actually go on the island and tour the island itself. And of course, you can go up inside the statue. I don't believe you can go up into the torch any longer, but you can go up into the statue itself. You can walk around up inside there, and you can even get up into the crown area where you can look out to see Manhattan as well as Jersey City as well. But as you can see, it's it's a very beautiful statue, and it looks big now, but standing by it, it's even bigger. On any given day, the lower Manhattan and around the Statue of Liberty, you can see a lot of activity here. You have a lot of ships and a lot of small boats that are out here. You see a lot of sailboats out here. You also see a lot of helicopters around the area as well, with the tourists going around to see the Statue of Liberty itself and the lower end of Manhattan, as well as Manhattan being New York. I'm sure you all know that already. But the lower end, you can see that there's, this is the Ellis Island area where a lot of the immigrants came into years ago. But you can see there's quite a few buildings over there as well. And that's also something that you can go to and actually go through and see everything there that the immigrants went through when they came to this country, as well as all of the Great Hall, the staircase, and all of the facilities that used to be there. And of course you can see here is the New York Waterway taxi. You can catch it from the lower part of Jersey City, and it takes you right over to the financial area in New York. And that's the building itself. It's a beautiful building, and they restored it quite a few years ago. They restored it back to its original condition. I don't know if everything has been restored, but quite a bit of it has been. And again, this is the statue, and you can see there's a lot of people that can pass there. And you can see somebody must be extremely wealthy. There's their yacht going up the river, and they had their helicopter on the yacht itself. And that's the front of the statue. Obviously, the front of the statue looks towards lower Manhattan and out towards the Verrazano Bridge, out to the open ocean. And it was there to actually welcome anybody who was coming to the United States years ago, because when they came up on the ship years ago, they would come up underneath the Verrazano Bridge and in through there to lower Manhattan, and that's where the first sight they would see when they came to this country from wherever they came from. Now here they have a lot of construction going on, and these are the barges that are sitting in the river waiting for their final destination of wherever they're going to use the product that they're going to manufacture. And anybody who knows anything knows that the Bayonne has a cruise port down inside here. As we get a little bit closer, I'll show you what that looks like as well. The cruise port is up inside here, and if you look on the left side, you'll see the cruise port inside there. There's a building that with the white roof. That's the cruise port where you actually leave and arrive to the port in Bayonne. And there's not many cruise ships that leave from there, but there is a couple of them. I think one of them is Celebrity and the other is Royal Caribbean. I don't know if anybody else leaves from that location, but those are the two that I know for sure. This whole area down here where the cruise port is and everything you see on the left side there, that used to be a military terminal. It used to be owned by the Navy. And there was a military ocean terminal that anything going to any wars or being shipped overseas used to leave from that location. Now the Navy has since given up that property and turned it over to the city of Bayonne, so that way now they use it for development, for housing, as well as the cruise port and a dry dock for servicing any kind of really big ships that need to be serviced. This is the lighthouse, of course, leading out to open water. I'll give you a little history too. Back in the day, when they used to have lighthouse keepers, there used to be a lighthouse at the lower end of Bayonne, and the lighthouse keeper used to have to row to the shore to drop their kids off to school so they could go to school every day and pick them up, and they would row back out to the lighthouse, and that's where they used to live out there. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was a husband and wife that used to run the lighthouse. But then when the husband passed away, the wife actually took over the job, and she ran it for quite some time. But this is the leading out to the open water, as you can see. And of course, once you leave the cruise port and you're heading out to open water, this is the Staten Island side of New York. And then from this point, it's out to the open ocean, and away you go. All right, I hope you liked this video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.